Right, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is of course Sprout here, back with another Diablo Immortal pay to win video. Shocker, but I need to sort of get this one out there. It's my 3 solutions of how Diablo Immortal can fix itself. Now, don't get us wrong, I'm not going back on what I said in the previous video, right? I still think it's not fully pay to win, it's still pay to be in a lottery for a chance to win at the game. But obviously, at the moment, there is people actually winning this lottery and they've got massively overpowered compared to absolutely everybody else. So, in essence, they are paying to win. Now, this pay to win aspect of the game, as me, free to play player, I'm not affected in the slightest. The only thing I'm going to miss out on, for instance, is being in the Immortals or winning a Shadow War or being on the top leaderboards for mostly everything. There's nothing I can do about that unless, of course, somehow run into a fortune and start spending loads of money. Now, the game is getting obviously a lot of hate online. There's a lot of videos, I don't need to show you them, you can just search Diablo Immortal, they'll come up on YouTube, there's millions of them, you know, how bad the pay to win is, how, you know, how much they need to spend, the 110 grand that you need to spend to max out your character, which I did mention in the previous video is absolutely unrealistic. Nobody will actually do that, but if they wanted to, that's what they'll probably have to do. Now, let's just go back a few years for, well, whatever how many years ago it was, the launch of Diablo 3. Now, if you did play Diablo 3 from the launch day, you'll know it had a pay to win mechanic in it, where the player around auction house was, you could use gold and stuff, but you could also use real money to buy things. So someone could, you know, be max level and find the most epic of epic swords and put it on for sale, and you could go on with your wallet and buy it and be ridiculously overpowered for doing none of the work, none of the raiding, etc. And it was just that bad, that much community backlash that they took it out of the game, and now obviously Diablo 3 is the game it is today. It's still really good to play it, very, very balanced. Now, what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to go through my 3 solutions how they can fix the game so that everybody can be slightly happier with the state of the game right now. And I'm going to add in one extra right now that's not a fix, which is to do absolutely nothing about it and keep the game exactly how it is right now, which I think, personally, I play it for fun, I'm enjoying playing it, I'm going to continue to play it. I'm not going to stop playing because of this pay to win, but a lot of content creators, a lot of communities and stuff, a lot of just general players are literally refusing to play, boycotting the game altogether because of what people are saying. It's obviously massive outrage, you can't hide from it, it is actually there. So, what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to go through 2 options first that are sort of like semi-fixes that might work, but probably won't. And these are the ones that I'm going to get out of the way first, because my third one is the one I think they should do. This third option is the one that will save the game, in my opinion. Of course, this is all to my opinion. If you disagree, feel free to comment down below. I'd actually love to hear your thoughts on this, as well as at the end of the video, if you do watch it all the way through, because I would like you to listen to the third option. But I want to see that first, because it's the best options, obviously. I'm going to do it this way around. So guys, before I get into these 3 things, do us a massive favour, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that little bell, as I do live stream the game quite often. If you do want to come on my live stream and talk about this subject with us, I'm more than happy to, you know, stand still somewhere and get killed by a quill rat while I talk to you about it. So, without further ado, guys, let's get straight into these 3 options. Now, the first one is probably what they'll do, and I don't think this is the right way to do, which is to remove all non-cosmetic monetization. So anything that gives you an advantage in the game, gives you stuff that a free player can't get, they remove it all from the game. Now, this runs into a lot of different things. I mean, obviously this is what they did on Diablo 3 and it worked, but I don't think it was to such an extent on that game of what it could be here. Now, the first question it raises is what happens with all the money people have spent. Obviously, you know, the Swedish or whatever he is, YouTubers spend 4 grand. There's probably people spend 10 grand, 20 grand, you know, depending on how much like spare income they've got to play on the game. So what happens with the money that's spent if they've spent it on this pay to win stuff and now that's all gone from the game? Now, do they keep it all? You know, you've got it now, you might as well have it, you've spent it, but we're taking out the option for you to get any more. So you're already ahead. People who aren't really happy about that can just change server, you know, and have fun elsewhere. You can continue to be the best player on the server. There's also, they could convert the spent into cosmetics, but that means being more specific on what they've spent their orbs on. Did they buy cosmetic gear? Did they buy Elder Rift gems? You know, what did they buy to reimburse into cosmetics? And then you run into the trouble is, if they've spent 20 grand, sorry, there's not going to be 20 grand worth of cosmetic items to convert it into. And of course there is the last option, and that is refunding it all. Refund everyone's purchases to this point if they take out the monetization and then just leave cosmetics. But if I know NetEase, I've played a lot of NetEase games in the past, still play them, they're not going to do that. So we'll see what it goes from there. But that, like I say, that's obviously option 1. Remove all the non-cosmetic monetization or all the monetization and start again from scratch. Now, number 2, guys, is a bit of a loose one. It is possible for them to do this, but at the same time, I'll go for the negatives and positives of doing this when I see it, which is to remove all of the paywalled content. Now, what I mean by that is, you can't really get that very many legendary rifts things very often unless you pay for them. So if they added a way for you to grind them, it would, you know, the really hardcore play all the time players, if they could grind these rift things and still get the 5-star gems without paying for it, it would be all the more better. Maybe it's achievements or, you know, certain milestones you hit. He has 10 free rift tokens. And they could also increase the chance of 5 stars dropping so that the free-to-play players can still play enough to get to the level that the spenders get. But this one runs into probably a massive problem if you went that route, which is the paying players can also do the grinding to then get, you know, double the rewards and get even more massively powerful to the point where the free-to-play can't catch up, and then that would kind of make the point absolutely useless. Completely useless. But, yeah. Anyway, guys, I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments on these 2 things. If you think they would work, if you think they wouldn't. But honestly, this last one, guys, number 3, I think is the ultimate thing they could do, which would save all these players leaving the game, and it would keep everybody, absolutely everybody happy. So Diablo Immortal developers, Activision, Blizzard, NetEase, if you're watching this, implement this, it would work. And that is to make separate game servers. Now, by what I mean that is, when you create a new character, select your server from the list. This server has pay-to-win options. This server does not. And that would give these free-to-play players a chance. It's showing everyone, you know, the more I play the game, the more rewarding it is. Don't need to spend on it. And then the people who do want to spend can be on their spender server, and they can have like a bloody competition of who's the richest person on the server to be the top rank. And obviously if you weren't spending, you still got a choice to play on there if you really want to play with your rich friend or whatever. But if you made non-pay-to-win servers where the microtransactions on this server are only cosmetic, purely cosmetic, right? Now, one of the cons to this, obviously, would be it would separate the player base, because most people, 90% of people who wheel on this sort of game, want to beat the players that don't wheel, right? They don't have sufficient game skills themselves or the sufficient time to play to compete with hardcore gamers on a game like this. So they'll go, you know, here's me money just to make it a bit better. That's the only reason. That's one of the only reasons they do it. The other 10% do it because they've got too much money, and why not? You know what I mean? Now, the pros to this one, which I think is why it's the best option, is because you would get servers with Immortals on and Shadow Wars and stuff, where the entire thing is purely skill-based competitive PvP, skill-based competitive PvE as well. There's no paying options to be better than someone else. It's purely down to how much you play and how good you are at the game. And I think realistically the entire Diablo Immortal community wanted that to be the game. You've put PvP in that I can beat other players simply because I'm better, not because, pardon me, not because I've spent $110,000. And I think honestly that would be the best option. Separate the servers into paid servers and free servers. So, like I say guys, that is my 3 solutions to save Diablo Immortal. It carries on going the way it's going, regardless of my thoughts, regardless of all the other people who don't care for the pay to win. The game is going to die very, very soon, except for the people who are wheeling. And eventually the wheels will get tired of playing with just other wheels because everybody else has left the game because they can't compete. Obviously there'll still be a couple of people like me still playing, but that's besides the point. So anyway guys, love to know your thoughts down below. Hit me comment section, let us know which one you think's the best option. If you've got another option, I would love to hear that as well. And of course you can jump on my Discord, it's linked down below. Follow us on Twitter, also linked down below. I do discuss a lot of it on there. And of course, like I say, like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, pop on my live stream when I go live and talk to us there. I'd love to hear all your thoughts on this subject. So thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.